It took me like a week to recover from Silver Scream Con, but I'm finally ready to tell you about it. Stick around, I got some stuff to give away. It's not at the end, I'm hiding it in the middle. What's up, cretins? What's up, creeps? My name is Chris. I am the only person talking horror on the internet. So if you know, but if you don't, now in its 4th year, Silver Scream Con is an increasingly bigger and bigger horror convention slash concert slash fan festival that's thrown annually by horror impresarios Ice9 Kills. If you're a fan of the band, this has become their premier event. 3 days spent with fans, doing signings, throwing shows, photo ops, panels, you name it, they do it. If you're not a fan of the band, and honestly you don't have to be, it's just a horror convention. And not like we got the stunt double of the lead actor from a Tubi original from last year. No. This year's festivities included Rose McGowan, Matthew Lillard, Skeet Ulrich, David Howard Thornton, Damien Leone, Doug Bradley, Kane Hodder, Barbara Crampton, Heather Langenkamp, and plenty more. There's signings, panels, tons of vendors, and again, it's a full-on horror convention. You don't have to be a fan to have an absolute blast, but if you are a fan, this is the blood-splattered bliss that your cold heart has been dying for. So I drove up to Worcester, Wichita? No, that's Kansas. I went up to Massachusetts to meet with my homie, the incredibly talented Carolyn, who you all loved from the Night of Terror Haunt review. Carolyn is one of Ice9 Kills' makeup artists, and she gets a pass for an assistant, which she didn't need because she's just that good. So she and convention co-organizer slash entrepreneur slash Ice9 Universe final girl Nadia Teichman were kind enough to grant little old stuff-scared Chris a friends and family pass. Thank you, ladies, eternally grateful. Day one's panels consisted of a Hellraiser panel, a horror makeup panel with Tom Savini, Greg Nicotero, and Christopher Nelson, and a horror trivia panel with SiriusXM personality Jose Mangan. I missed all of them. I was on the convention floor meeting 742 people. My new homie Kaylee gave me this Silver Scream Con 2025 friendship bracelet that she made. The SSC stands for Silver Scream Con, but we can pretend that it stands for Stuff Scared Chris. Thank you. So I went to the Fangoria booth and I met frequent Fangoria contributor Brian Collins. I love Fangoria, I always have since I was a kid. I was able to grab one of these exclusive Silver Scream Con issues of Fangoria. So this is a great collectible, and it's not just about the con. You can see that there's articles in here about Terrifier 3, Reanimator for its 40th anniversary, Hellraiser 3, and an interview with Matthew Lillard. Very cool, and the only place that you could get it. Speaking of Matthew Lillard, I was standing next to him for a couple of minutes, but I didn't notice until he was walking away. I also shared an elevator with Rose McGowan, who was a lovely person, going as far as to hold the elevator so that I could finish what I was saying. I got to go to the RIP after party, which consisted of pop-punk band Flat Out, who, if you didn't know, they play a bunch of the onstage characters in Ice9's live show. Check them out here. And Ice9 Kills guitarist Ricky Armelino's other project, Hawk, headlined, and they fucking crushed it. Definitely a band to look out for. And after the show, there was Scarioke. I have no idea how long that went on for. I left somewhere around 2 a.m. and they had really just kind of gotten started. I slept until noon o'clock and I showed up late for day 2's stacked lineup of panels, which included Danny Trejo, a masked killer panel with Kane Hodder, Tyler Mane, and Ken Kersinger. That's 2 Jasons and a Michael to the uninitiated. And both Reanimator and Scream panels. I went to the convention floor once again where Jason Voorhees told me that he liked my drip, and I saw my first ever Monstro Eliza Sue cosplay. I wish I had asked for a picture, but as algorithm would have it, she dropped into my feed 2 days later, So go check her out. Look at this video. She covers her whole costume. It's incredible. And also on the floor, I met a couple of new favorite artists. So this is the art of fellow New Jersey guy Sean Mansfield. Say hi to him. He makes these incredible posters of modern properties with a very 1940s noir influence. And yeah, if you know Chris, you know it had to be The Substance. So this was an amazing poster to me. I love the lettering and I love how this is done. It looks very of an era. I'm just going to show you here as well. I love Ready or Not, but I never needed a poster of Ready or Not until I saw his interpretation of it. Amazing, right? He also sold out of this Sinners piece, and I think you can clearly see why. And you may have briefly caught in my video that he also already has an Aunt Gladys front and center for this weapons piece. Guys, Sean is very early on in focusing on this as a potential career path as opposed to just a hobby. He's actually printing all of these posters on his own. This is an 11 by 17. This is the largest he could do. He wants to get to a point of doing 18 by 24s, but I'm sure that you can agree that this is good enough and this is detailed enough that this would be befitting of a 24 by 36. Please go give him a follow, buy something from his online shop. I am very excited to see where he's going with this. Similarly, I would love if you went and checked out the art of Jennifer Ashe. I hope I said that properly. So I asked Jennifer to film these for me because I didn't want to step back into her booth, but I needed close-up shots of these so that you can see that these are real usable saws, which you are never going to use as such. Jennifer freehand paints all the imagery on these. If you look into the light, yes, this time it's okay to look into the light, you can see the faint brush strokes. Because again, these are painted, these are not printed. She doesn't use any kind of templates, and she actually has videos posted here documenting her process. And you're absolutely correct. If you're looking at the prices, these are far from cheap. But these are roughly 30 to 40 hours of time for her to paint one. You can also see that some of them have sold because they are honestly worth it. So you want to hear something outrageous? Jennifer has videos here on TikTok, and Jennifer has 82 followers. 82. She was kind enough to donate this pack of 7 holographic stickers. So this is going to be our giveaway. I've got Michael, I've got Pennywise, I've got Freddy, I've got Jason, I've got Art, I've got Ghostface, and I've got Leatherface. So here's what we're gonna do. This is gonna be our giveaway. I want you to go and follow Jennifer. Now that you did that, make sure you're following me. And tell me what your top 3 favorite of these stickers is. Depending on how many enter, maybe I'll give the whole pack to one person, maybe I'll split them up, I don't know. But you have until, let's say, the 28th to do so. United States only, 18 and up. Obviously, you're gonna have to give me an address to send these guys to. So do it now, I'll wait here until you get back. Oh, hey, thanks for coming back. So I also had a great chat with the guys that run Count Orlok's Nightmare Gallery. Located in Salem, Massachusetts, Count Orlok's Nightmare Gallery is what it says it is. It's a monster museum. You can see here that they have a newly acquired Carrie, an incredible xenomorph. You can't call something Count Orlok's Nightmare Gallery without the newest Count Orlok. Remember the thing where you could buy the Nosferatu coffin for like $25,000? Well, the company that was doing that sold 2 of them, and one of those 2 belongs to these guys. This merch all comes from their attached spooky shop, and yes, they have the 1922 Max Schreck version as well. I bought this Ouija magnet from them because I had to give them money in some way, shape, or form. I feel like I need to go there. What do you guys think? Spooky road trip? Word. Then we had to head out for the concert. In the attached DCU arena, 14,800 of Ice Nine Kills' finest psychos gathered for a sold-out show featuring Mest, The Funeral Portrait, A Loss for Words, and Dayseeker, culminating in a 90-minute, 19-song Ice Nine Kills set. If you've never seen Ice Nine Kills live, it's kinda metal, it's kinda punk, it's rife with homages to your favorite horror movies, and it's nearly musical theater. Yes, really. This is so much more than just music. It's a full-on stage show that's complete with characters, stories, guest spots from Greg Nicotero on guitar, Tony Lovato from Mest. I'm sure that you heard that Rhea Ripley was there to get offed by Art the Clown. She was just there as a fan. If you want more footage from the show, I'm just showing you snippets here. Go have a look at my alter ego, Chris Hurd stuff, where I post concert footage. It's not the best footage because we were side stage and the sound isn't configured to sound great there. So maybe just check out the band's official footage from it. It was an incredible show. Plus, I was sitting diagonally from Terry Kaiser. That's Bernie from Weekend at Bernie's. Yes, he's still kicking it at a horror metal show at 86 years of age. Awesome. Honestly though, so much thought and so much work goes into what they do, and I was just grateful to be able to bear witness to it. I got to go to the after party afterwards for a while, which was an absolute blast. I met David Howard Thornton, I chatted with Rose McGowan again, John Kassir was at this one again, Damien Leone, Dead Meat. It was a blast. Befitting of horror content creators much bigger than me. I got back to the hotel at 3 a.m., got back up the next day, and day 3 panels included Terrifier, Dead Meat, and Heather Langenkamp. But I had to make my last few purchases before the Ice Nine panel that closes out the con. First, I ran over to the Z2 table. So if you're unfamiliar with Z2, they collaborate with musicians to make graphic novels based on their works. I've been a fan of theirs for a number of years. I've bought for myself, I've bought for others. They had an Ice Nine graphic novel that they sold out of. It was for sale online for 15% off plus free shipping with code SILVERSCREAM. I don't know if it still works, but give it a shot. So they were kind enough to give me just one of these Warped Tour programs, which just has a bunch of stuff about music, which I was happy to pass on to Chris Hurd stuff. Thanks. Next, I went over to the Tomb table to see my buddy Marcus. Tomb is a tattoo studio and gallery out in Salem. Marcus has only been doing these shirts for a few years. He's very much about simple, well-made designs with a metal edge to them. He also does these art pieces that are grotesque, but I do so enjoy them. I already have his Hereditary shirt and I love it. I'd wear any of his designs. So I ended up getting this Exorcist shirt from him just because of everything that he has. The Exorcist is one that I have the least amount of stuff. Pretty sure it's only like 2 shirts. Plus, it's got Pazuzu on it. Fun fact, my movie trivia team name is Pazuzu's Pedals. If you get that, you're a real one. And I had to pop over to Dead End Threads. As you can see, they have a mix of shirts, pins, books, mugs, stickers, bags. Just a really nice spread of both their own items and items that they're curating for their shoppers. What stopped me dead in my tracks, though, was this Splatterhouse shirt they had out on display. So I have never seen a Splatterhouse shirt before, but I have vivid recollection of renting this game from JMD Video for my Sega Genesis back in the 90s. I love the Splatterhouse games. If you asked me, Chris, do you remember how great it was to spend a Saturday afternoon sitting around your living room playing Splatterhouse and eating pizza with your best friend? My honest answer would be, yeah, I most recently did that like 5 months ago. This is the petition for more Splatterhouse stuff. Sign here. I thought I was done at this point, but then I passed the Vintage Skull. Deeming themselves as the little wood shop of horrors, Vintage Skull makes magnets, coasters, signs, and placards with a sometimes jokey but always spooky edge to them. These are all hand-painted, reclaimed wood, and you're goddamn right, this has to be hanging in my home. So this is great all around. You can see that this is like a real slab of wood. It's not particle board or whatever you get from mass marketed signs. It's gonna go great next to my door. Then I finally made it up to a panel for the big finale with Ice Nine Kills. I love that they did very little in regards to moderator questions. Sometimes those take up more than half the panel. This went almost immediately to the fans, who got to ask a slew of questions before Matthew Lillard entered the room for two big announcements.
Spencer and I are friends, and we've been friends for a while now, and we have been collaborating in the shadows as you slept quietly in your beds. And Spencer and I have put together a project, and we're very excited to announce it right now. My heart is beating, my nipples are so hard. Spencer and I have a company called Find Familiar Spirits. We build high-end spirit experiences for fandoms like horror. And Spencer has this incredible band called Ice Nine Kills. I can speak with two minds, baby. And together, we put together a new project. Have you seen the posters around the event? So Spence, I feel like you should announce that, and then I'll announce the other thing.
Okay. Well, not only have Matt and I and the band been collaborating on our very own whiskey called Horrorwood Reserve, which is going to be fantastic, but also, Matt,
I am very excited to announce that I am in the Ink Cinematic Universe. We'll be in the next video! I'm very excited.
And fun fact, their coverage of it, you could see me in their video. All in all, Silver Scream Con is like no other convention that I've been to before. They're doing all of the things that they need to do to meet the expectations of a standard horror convention, but there's also so much more. There's a huge effort to provide entertainment options and cater to all different crowds. And there's always a sense of community at conventions, but this one actually transcends community and almost feels more like family. You can see that in the way that the guests have enthusiasm about taking part in it. Nobody's just sitting behind their table. You can usually catch them just roaming about. Carolyn and I ran into Barbara Crampton while I was on my way out. I told her the last convention that I had seen her at, and I asked her which one she liked better. She told me that she loves all of the events that she gets to do, but that there was so much for her to do at Silver Scream, and she actually gets to hang out with people there. It's not just splitting her time between signing and sitting in her hotel room. I think 2026 is only going to get bigger and better for Silver Scream Con, and I hope to be there for it. My thanks once again to Ice Nine Kills for an incredible convention, Nadia Teichman for arranging everything. Look out for her upcoming flick If It Bleeds, which I've heard is fucking amazing. And of course, Miss Carolyn, who I know that you're already following, right? 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 Right. Alright. I gotta go jump in the pool, so there you go, cretins. That's gonna do it for today, creeps. Do all these things. Let me know if you've ever been to Silver Scream Con before, if I'll see you there next year, or what your favorite thing is from all of the stuff that I got right over here. As always, this is all just a matter of opinion. Go there yourself, make your own decisions, remain critical, support horror.